A study out of Harvard found that most people decide whether they trust someone within the first 7 seconds of meeting them. 7 seconds, and they're almost always wrong. The person who smiled warmly, held eye contact, asked about your life, they passed every social test you ran. But 3 months later, you found out exactly who they were, and it wasn't who you met. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The behaviors that reveal someone's true character are almost never the ones they show you first. They're hidden in moments so small, most people scroll right past them. So the question is, do you actually know how to look? Welcome to TheMindShadow. This channel exists for one reason: to give you the kind of knowledge most people never get access to. The psychology of behavior, the science of influence, the dark patterns hiding beneath the surface of everyday human interaction. What you're about to learn isn't speculation. These are 8 documented, observable behaviors, each one a window directly into who someone actually is at their core. Not who they want you to think they are. Not who they perform at dinners or job interviews. The real architecture underneath. By the end of this, you will never look at the people around you the same way again. The first behavior is how someone treats people who can do nothing for them. Waitstaff, janitors, the parking attendant, the intern, nobody's watching. This is the oldest character test in existence, and it still works perfectly. When someone believes no social currency is on the line, the performance drops. What's left is the default. Abraham Lincoln reportedly said, "You can tell the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him." Lincoln lived it. He treated his staff, his subordinates, and even his political enemies with the same measured respect. His character was visible in the small rooms, not just the big speeches. Watch the person you're evaluating the next time a server gets their order wrong. Watch whether they make eye contact with someone handing them a receipt. Watch what happens when there's no audience, because the way someone behaves when they think nobody important is watching, that's not a slip, that's the truth. The second behavior is how they respond to your success. This one is subtle, and it will cut deep when you start seeing it clearly. When something good happens to you, a promotion, a relationship, a win, pay close attention to the people around you. A person of genuine character will feel something real. Their congratulations won't feel transactional. But a person hiding a darker nature will hesitate for just a fraction of a second. Their smile won't reach their eyes. They'll pivot the conversation. Psychologists call this concept Freudenfreude, the opposite of Schadenfreude, the genuine ability to share in someone else's joy. It's rarer than most people admit. The people who can't do it will never tell you, but their face will. The third behavior is how someone handles being wrong. Neuroscience has a name for what happens in the brain when your beliefs are challenged. It's called cognitive dissonance, and the discomfort it produces is real, measurable, and physical. The brain responds to being wrong the same way it responds to physical threat. So what you're watching when someone is corrected is how they handle psychological pain. A person of strong character sits with the discomfort. They update. They say the 2 hardest words in any language, "I was wrong." A person of weak character deflects, minimizes, attacks. Watch specifically for those who double down when given clear evidence they were mistaken. This isn't stubbornness. This is a person who values being right more than being honest. That value system will affect you eventually. The fourth behavior is consistency, not just over days, over months, over years. Anyone can perform integrity for a few weeks. The real signal is whether someone is the same person on their worst Thursday morning as they are at their best Saturday night. Research from personality psychology shows that true character traits, what psychologists call core dispositional tendencies, remain stable across contexts and time. Someone who is kind only when it's convenient isn't kind. They're strategic. Someone who is honest only when there's no cost to honesty isn't honest. They're safe. Watch for the drift. Watch for who someone becomes when life gets hard, when money gets tight, when they're tired and the world isn't cooperating. That version of a person is not the exception, it's the rule. The fifth behavior is how someone talks about people who aren't in the room. This one is a direct mirror. Whatever someone freely says about others when they're absent, assume they say the same about you when you're absent. It is psychologically impossible to be two people simultaneously. The person who gossips, demeans, or exposes someone's weaknesses the moment they leave the room has already decided that loyalty is conditional. You are not exempt from that condition. You are simply currently present. The sixth behavior is how they react to boundaries. This is where character becomes visible in real time. When you say no to a request, to an invitation, to a demand, watch the response carefully. A healthy person will feel disappointment. That's human, but they will accept the boundary. A person with darker underlying tendencies will push back. They'll reframe your no as selfishness, as weakness, as a personal rejection of them. They use guilt, pressure, silence, or subtle punishment to wear you down. This is not a one-time mistake. This is a revealed operating system. Because a person who cannot tolerate your boundaries doesn't respect your autonomy. And a person who doesn't respect your autonomy will use every tool available to erode it. The seventh behavior is generosity, when it costs something real. Anyone gives when it's easy, when there's social recognition, when the act of giving makes them look a certain way. But remove the audience. Remove the social credit. Make the generosity anonymous, inconvenient, and without return. Then watch. This is the character stress test. Psychologists studying pro-social behavior consistently find that anonymous giving correlates strongly with genuine empathy, while public generosity often tracks with something more self-referential. Observe whether the people in your life give when no one is watching. That answer tells you everything. And now the eighth behavior, the one that reframes every single thing I've told you. The eighth behavior is how someone treats themselves. Here's what nobody tells you. Every pattern I described, the cruelty to people with no power, the inability to accept being wrong, the gossip, the manipulation through boundaries, every single one of those behaviors has a mirror. A person who is genuinely harsh with others is almost always running an internal monologue of equal or greater harshness toward themselves. The contempt they show outward is contempt they've learned to feel inward. This doesn't excuse the behavior, it explains the architecture. Because here's the revelation. When you can see someone's relationship with themselves, you can predict every other behavior on this list. The person who cannot forgive others cannot forgive themselves. The person who needs to be right at all costs is terrified of being wrong, because at some level, being wrong feels like being nothing. Character isn't formed in the moments people choose to show you. It's formed in years of private thoughts, private choices, and private pain. What you see in behavior is just the surface tension of something much deeper. Now you know where to look, and you cannot unsee it. The people in your life are constantly telling you who they are, not with their words, with their smallest, least guarded moments. Your job is simply to pay attention. If this changed the way you see things, If it made you think about someone specific, that recognition alone is worth something. Stay with it. If you found value here, subscribe to TheMindShadow. Every week, we go deeper into the behavioral patterns and psychological truths that most people never encounter. This knowledge protects you, it sharpens you, and it changes how you move through the world. I'll see you in the shadows.